Hi, I'm Tony Davis. This is my wife, Sabrina.
My name is David Reed.
My name is Caitlin Davis.
I'm Colin Mowat. This is my wife, Lisa.
My name is Sarah Anchetta.
My name's Teresa Chong.
I'm Keith.
I'm Jen. We're the Krejcis.
My name is Joe Fernandez.
I'm Levi Raphael Sever.
I'm Debbie Davis.
And I'm her husband, Dan Davis.
Hi, my name is Cedric Cade.
Okay, my name's Jen.
My name is Bobby Joseph Witt.
PC is funny. just kidding, PC. You know, the funniest thing wasn't something he said, but it's something that he did. You remember when he did the thing with the soccer balls, had the different balls on the table, and one of the balls really wasn't a ball, it was Steve, and he had his head under that. Was it a bucket or a bag?
Yeah, I don't remember.
And the anticipation was so good because everybody in the congregation knew when they yanked that thing off, it really wasn't going to be a ball, it was going to be Steve's head. They yanked it off, and he did like that, and scared that poor little girl about half to death. I laughed and laughed and laughed. That was the funniest one for me.
A couple years ago, PC was invited to speak and read a story in Sabrina's classroom as a teacher. The story is about gay penguins. I later found out from Sabrina that she wasn't prepared for it and didn't know how to handle the story after he read the story to her class.
Well, and it was as it was unfolding, Pastor Chris didn't know either. It was one that he had gotten, from once arriving at the school, so he wasn't aware either.
I'm not sure who was more embarrassed by it, if it was PC or Sabrina, but at the end, I guess nobody really picked up on the story, but it ended up being a great laugh.
Yeah, except for the adults. As it was being read, we kept exchanging looks, and Pastor Chris would stop and look at me like, did they just say that? I know they didn't just say that. And all the way through the whole story, you could just see the exchanging of the looks of, should I stop?
Oh, the funniest and slash the grossest thing would be his story about Vicky Lynn and how he met her via a friend at camp. You'll have to ask her or him what that story is.
I think the funniest thing I remember mostly is actually last week when he talked about the DMV and it being purgatory. It's like the closest thing to hell. I'm like, oh my gosh. He's like, DMV is purgatory, DMV is purgatory. And it just kept reminding me, and I just remembered I have to go to the DMV next week.
The most funnest thing that I seen was when Jordan and you was playing ice and trying to put ice on each other. I think that was real funny. And then my son, he's gonna protect you. He let you know that Joe was around the corner waiting on you to put icing on your face.
He came out one message wearing some type of mask.
Yeah.
And it's just crazy. So.
One of the times that I had to go in and consult an attorney during that time was the first time I'd gone to see them, and Pastor Chris went with me, and he was telling me that if there was any way to resolve things without an attorney, that was the best thing to do. And as the conversation progressed, Pastor Chris had answered a question for him, and the attorney turned and had a puzzled look on his face, and he asked, "Who are you?" He said, "Are you his roommate?" And he meant roommate. And he had quite a shocked look on his face when Chris answered, "I'm his pastor." And that was quite a shock for him that my pastor was there with me, helping me to go through that.
I know. I hope that by now you've had the tweet thing down. You're calling everybody twits instead of saying that they're tweeting.
I can't think of anything other than the Twitter tweet, whatever that. I don't even know the difference, PC, so you're doing well. But yeah, he can't get that right, and that's kind of funny. I don't think he should ever get it right.
Does he Twitter or does he tweet?
The message was, I can't remember the whole message, was a while ago. Would you drink from the cup? Not just a regular cup, like just drink from my here clean cup of water. No, like, would you drink from the cup? So I'm gonna brush my teeth, and he drank it, and then he spit back in it and was like, would you drink from the cup? It was crazy.
What I like most about The Rock is that I come here and they're my family. You know, they're not just strangers that come in. I know everyone personally, and I have really good relationships with them.
I think for me, the incredible thing about The Rock is that I hear over and over that the relationships that are built are genuine. And even people who visit our church once or twice can see that those relationships that are being built are something different than the rest of the world has. And I think that that's part of what draws people to The Rock, and it continues to change this world.
The thing I can say is that if they find a church like this, especially at The Rock, it's genuine. God will change lives. He's changed mine considerably. And it's a caring church, and it just is amazing at the work that is done, not just by the church, but through God, through the church. And all I can tell people is just keep coming and come to The Rock and just try it.
Well, I love the church, for one thing. I think it's a place where it's going to just be something completely different in the kingdom, and just very much not everyone for themselves, but helping other people and really caring for people when they're down. And
when I look at The Rock, I see people who are willing to sacrifice and invest their lives in each other. It's not just a place where you are surface deep, but you really spend time getting to know each other and knowing each other's hurts, and then sharing each other's joys as well.
I think one of the greatest things about The Rock is the relationships that we established with some of the pillars in the church. And from the very beginning, when I first met the church plant team, I knew that they were a group of people that I could count on. And I think that probably the greatest asset of The Rock is that in times of need, you're going to be there. And they have been.
If you ever want to come to somewhere to feel like you're at home and feel God's presence, The Rock would be the place to come, because we are a family within Christ, and He's the foundation.
We just love the Rock. We love the people of The Rock, and our lives are forever changed.
I love the warmness you feel when you come in. You know, it feels like a family. You know.
I'm home. Plain and simple. The first moment I stepped in here, I felt at home. I felt the Holy Spirit here. Everyone welcomed me with open arms, and I can't get enough of it. I honestly feel like I am home. I'm where God wanted me to be, and I wouldn't have it any other way.
Before The Rock, I had never really attended church. Several times with friends from when I was young in elementary school all the way through college. Never really was in a church family that where it stuck, where it was a place I felt comfortable, and where a place that I could learn about God and grow.
I've grown just by being pushed into more leadership roles, into areas where I normally wouldn't feel comfortable, but it's been a gentle push. It hasn't been forceful, and just taking on some roles that, like I said, I wouldn't have taken on myself.
I think I've definitely grown deeper in my relationship with God, and just to be able to focus and not be distracted, to be surrounded with people who are just so fired up, who just want to get to know Jesus more. And I think because I'm surrounding myself with that environment, I feel myself being more connected with God, and I'm able to hear what He's trying to tell me. I'm able to see what He wants me to do. And
just recently, with our church, we had a church in the park, and one of the church members prayed with me. And actually, I have been having some anger issues, and after praying together, I haven't been angry once. I have a sense of peace over my life.
As a leader, I've seen a lot of people's lives change in a lot of different ways. Mostly through the relationships that are built. We see God working through people touching other people's lives, going through the difficult times in life together, being able to share those times together, lean on each other. And sometimes it's one person leaning on the other, and at other times it's flipped the other way. And that person who was helping somebody get through something, it's turned around. And I just see those relationships building together.
The Rock has just changed my life tremendously. I called myself a Christian. And just one of the things that I really learned at the Rock was that I was reading the Word diligently, but I was not taking the Word into my own heart. Because now I've made a transformation of calling myself, in the process, a good Christian, to having a really deep and intimate personal relationship with God. And that has caused just the highest joy and the deepest peace that I've ever had in my life. And this has allowed me to just put my trust and my faith in God to a place that I know that I can trust His power and His love each and every day. And that's just been so impactful.
When I started like this January, I was kind of in a pretty low place. I had me going to church, and then I started coming, and I gained, back all what I've been growing my whole life and even more.
Yes. It's really helped me because I never grew up with church in my life, so I was so brand new and really didn't know anything, and so it's really opened my eyes completely to Jesus and everything.
Joining the worship team has been a work in progress, and God has used that in so many ways. Not only blessing my family, but blessing myself and changing my thinking about what worship is. And of course, he had a plan, and I just am so thankful that I had the opportunity, before I leave this earth, to follow him in that plan.